Hello, good morning, and welcome to Let's Talk About It, where we discuss the things of life that bring us life. My name is Andrew Olson, and I am your host today. We will be talking today about love. I mentioned at the end of the last video that I recommended you guys do a little homework and learn about love, learn about the 5 love languages, and learn about also the 8 different types of love in Greek. So, I did a little bit of a recap. I have some things pulled up here on my laptop so we can go over it. In the last video, I mentioned some personality disorders and wasn't quite prepared. That was my second video. I'm learning as I go. So this learning curve doesn't seem to be too bad, but today I've upgraded and I have my laptop for information. And I'm also trying to avoid AI response or AI results. So there's that. Trying to find good, decent resources for you guys so we have good information. All right. Let's see. The 5 love languages. So for those of you that aren't familiar, there was a book written by, let's see, I want to get that for you. I didn't think about that. Pause with me for a moment. I've heard really good things, so this pause will be worth it for you. Gary Chapman, if you decide to get that book and read that book, I'm sure you'll be grateful for that short little pause in time. Thank you for your patience. 5 love languages. It's all in English. Just kidding. All right, so here we go. Words of affirmation is 1. Acts of service is another one. It's 2. Receiving gifts is 3. Quality time, and then physical touch. I haven't really read into this too much, but I would be interested to read his, like, what he studied to conclude these things. I know sometimes when we have things in our history that are, like, you got like Erickson's stages of development, you have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which we have here now also is the 5 love languages. It's almost like, because I've done stuff similar to this, not quite as impactful I don't think, but where I've come together with a conclusion of like maybe 12 of this and 12 of that concludes something. For myself, it was always just kind of like it came natural because after a long period of research, it just kind of pours out of you. And I'm curious to see how he came to the conclusion that these were the things that he needed to include in this list. When you understand things, it's a game changer. So there's a wise man once said, a wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain to wise counsels. So even just us learning these things, learning the definitions of these types is good. But to understand how he attained the knowledge to be able to like conclude these things, that's a deeper knowledge. So for those of you that are interested in doing that, that would be a good deep dive, how he acquired these results. So let's start from the top. Words of affirmation. Saying supportive things to your partner. Words of affirmation. You know, we talked about communication types last time a little bit. Passive, aggressive, these different. And some people, some people are people of action and some people are very vocal. Whereas some people just do what they're called to do and they don't really need much attaboys. They don't need very many attaboys. Attaboys is just, a pat on the back. whereas other people, they really appreciate that. And so I think this is what this is highlighting, is that, when the dishes get done, to say thank you to the person who did the dishes, or when you come home and the house is clean, and you make sure to make a note of that and mention that to your partner or your family member. It enriches their life. It's their love language. Love languages is like, if I don't understand how your love languages work, and I'm unable to love you the way you're designed to be loved, there won't be much love received by you from me. So these are basically set up so, like, if I learn that you like words of affirmation and you have a gifts love language, and I never give you anything and I never affirm anything that you're doing, if I learned that and I'm not putting in any effort, that's kind of a red flag. But you can also use this very tactically, where, like, you meet somebody, you meet a new friend, you meet a new partner, you go through this list and you figure out what your love languages are, and you can actively work on producing love in your relationship. And we'll get to love later, and the 8 types of love in the Greek, about what kinds of love we can give, as far as a different definition. So acts of service is 2, doing helpful things for your partner. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Doing house chores. I don't know, like maybe cleaning out your partner's car that they don't really have time to clean out, and they just randomly walk in their car and it's clean. I mean, that would be a huge boost for them, and a great thing you could do for them. Receiving gifts. Let's see, it says giving your partner gifts and that tell them you're thinking about them. So I have a gift. I was playing bingo at a mental health facility recently, and I got this. I had my eye on it because it's a pig with wings, and there's this saying that says something like, "Oh, this won't happen until pigs fly." Basically saying it's never going to happen. But this is the miracle pig. Look at pigs have wings. So I was going to give this to my nonprofit boss, my nonprofit boss. She just started a nonprofit for the homeless and the mentally ill, and I thought, what a great gift that would be for her, because oftentimes serving people that are less fortunate, to see them actually go from like living on the street to getting their first apartment, I mean, that's nothing short of a miracle. So haven't given it to her yet. I don't know what that's going to look like, if I'm going to end up keeping it or giving it to her, but the thought of it was really lines up with receiving gifts. Quality time is the next one, the 4th one. Spending meaningful time with your partner. That's one of my major love languages. I love the feeling of, the best way I can describe this is when you give somebody a hug and you hold the hug and you almost feel the love go back and forth between the two people. I don't know how many seconds it is. There's probably some article somewhere that says 2.5 seconds or 3 seconds of a hug is the time you need to hug somebody to feel the love. But that feeling, that connection, like, that's what I thrive on. I love cozy spaces and getting ready to watch a movie with some popcorn and wholesome moments. When I think of wholesome moments, like if I'm on my phone by myself, wholesome to me is watching videos of puppies and babies, or even, so just moments that family moments even. You watch a video, sometimes people post their family on YouTube and they do funny things, or they do family activities, and there's a wholesome feeling you get that does something to you, that fills you with love. The last one is physical touch, being close to and caressed by your partner. So not all these are based on your partner. I know this article is saying the word partner, but this is stuff with our friends and our families and everybody else in our life. Sometimes physical touch isn't an appropriate love language when you're working with professionals, but it's okay with your friends and family. But this one, I think, it also kind of relates to my example of giving a hug, where there's hormones that are being released. There's an intimacy there that it's almost I don't know the word that I'm looking for here. It's almost like natural for human beings on earlier ages. Like when you're a little tyke and you're like a toddler and a baby, a lot of physical touch, because they don't know how to talk and they're trying to learn, and they also like, I don't know why they like the comfort of it, but and I feel like as we get older, a lot of us grow out of that. But some of us don't. Can we learn to expand our love languages? I don't know. I don't see why not. I think we'll probably always have the core love languages of us. Like 2 or 3 of these are our mains, and the other 2 are like secondaries. I'm sure we could increase by practicing actively those other secondary love languages, to try and maybe get a more, because some people, this is interesting, I'm glad this got brought up, because I've got a friend who doesn't like to give quality time, and I love to give quality time. So we have a problem in our friendship, and I recognized that he has a love language of receiving gifts or giving gifts. So though I can't get my quality time from him, maybe I can give him a gift to let him know how much I care about him. That doesn't really resonate with me. I'm not really going to be affected by that too much, but he will. He'll be much more benefited by that than me. But it's a selfless act. It's a sacrificial act where I really want quality time over gift giving, but because he can't give quality time, I'm sacrificing my desires, my needs for his needs, but I'm still able to express my love to him as a friend. Hand in hand with this article, I've pulled up the 8 types of love. And this is, the Greek language did this, and I gotta give it to them. They really did us a good thing by creating this list of words. Because in America, if you tell somebody on the bus that you love them that don't know you, you might get a bad look from them, or they might walk away from you. Or if you tell somebody, I don't know, you can't tell somebody on the first date, right? You go on a date with somebody day 1 and you say, take care, I love you, bye. They don't know how to take that sometimes. Sometimes you can get the context of it and you can kind of grasp a little bit of what's going on, but it often causes confusion. So understanding this list of 8 types of love will, for yourself and anybody that you teach, clear up all of this stuff. And it was revolutionary in my life, growing up, not knowing true love, for me to understand what love is. Here we go. Agape love, eros love, philia love, storge love, ludus love, mania, pragma, and philautia. So let's go through and tell you what they are. So agape is unconditional love. That's the kind of love that you love everybody, race, creed, religion, size, doesn't matter, sex. You give the same love to everybody equally. Unconditional love. That's agape. Eros love, romantic love. This is specifically for a romantic partner. Philia love is affectionate love. Excuse me while I go to this article. If I remember correctly, this is friendship love. Yeah, filial love. So it says affectionate love here, and then it says also known as friendship. So when you have a friend, not somebody who's an acquaintance, we're talking about somebody who you've known for a long period of time, you developed a close bond with. Because love can be increased. So you can have a close friend, you start off being close friends, but then over the time, your love increases. All of that love is filial love. So you can tell your friends you love them. Please tell them. Let them know what you mean when you say it before you say it. But I tell my guy friends I love them. I tell my girl friends, what little girl friends I do have, friends that are girls, that I love them. I tell my family that I love them. I tell the people at church that I love them. And the cool thing about it is when you create a language, when you create an environment where the word love gets thrown around enough, people oftentimes, they get normalized to it. Or otherwise it's kind of like a foreign word. Like you don't want to hear it all the time. You want to hear it only in your home or only in your dating relationships. But let's make telling people that we love them normal, right? If you agree, I hope you agree. Affectionate love. Storge love, or storge, I don't know how to pronounce that. It says familiar love, so this is family love. This is when you're living with somebody. It could be your blood relatives, or it could just be somebody that is non-related, but you live with them long term. You see the ups and downs of their life. You see the struggles they've been through. It's like it's this richness. It's like with family, you oftentimes don't always like them. But no, it's almost like no matter what, you love them. There's this core foundational love of like, you can't help it but to love them. This seemingly unbreakable bond with your family. Unfortunately, that love is breakable, but Ludus love, this is a fun one. Playful love. It's kind of self-explanatory. Anytime you're goofy or silly, or the relatives come over with the kids and time to play, that's ludus. I think people need more of this in their life. Adults, I think, grow out of it and they think that it's for their younger selves. But there's adult versions of children's games like Jenga as a full-size version. Use your imagination. Even just getting out in nature can kind of be an adult's version of going to the playground. Getting your socks and shoes off and going for a walk. And there's different things you can do to kind of enter into ludus love. Opening up your sunroof and playing some music and going for a long drive, could almost be considered ludus love. Mania love, this is the only one on this list that we should not desire, and we should also be aware of that other people sometimes have for us, or even us for them. It's called mania love. Obsessive love. So if you find yourself obsessed with somebody or them obsessed with you, that's a red flag, and it's time to take a step back and figure out what's happening. I would recommend talking to a therapist about something like that, or maybe a wise parent that can kind of talk some sense into you. Those with addiction issues, I think, are commonly found to be stuck with, not stuck with, but find themselves in relationships with manic love. I've done that myself, so maybe addiction treatment would be helpful. Pragma love, enduring love. Let's see, I'm not too familiar with this one. Let me see what this says. It says pragma is a love that has matured and developed over time. It is beyond physical love or friendship. It has transcended the casual, uniquely harmonic love that has formed over time. I kind of said that when I talked about the friendship love. So maybe I was a little bit off. I don't even fully understand this. This is crazy. It says pragma can be found in married couples who have been together for a long time or in friendships that have endured for decades. Unfortunately, pragma is a type of love that is not easily found. Okay, I get it. So this, when I talked about friendship, I think it was generally accurate. But I think what this is talking about is like, you find, I was told in the past that like you might find 2 or 3 people in your whole life that will ever be your best friends. Like, I think this is what that's talking about. Like, in one lifetime, you might only have 1 or 2 married partners that will ever, or even just one, really, out of, if you have multiple married partners throughout a lifetime, unfortunately, you might have one of them that was just like, you might consider it your soulmate. I think this is pragma love, from what I'm understanding here. All right, number 8, Flautia, self-love. That's pretty self-explanatory. I think also too we have a need for this. It's, though, in a society in America where I don't know if we have the right idea. I think sometimes pragma love is exchanged for comfort when comfort isn't healthy. I think pragma love should be comfortable but also healthy. I think about a bubble bath with candles lit and some calm music. I think about, checking into a hotel for a Saturday just so you could sit in the jacuzzi and not have to worry about making your bed in the morning. Getting a nice breakfast. You don't have to cook or clean. That's self-love. Even cleaning your house or your apartment. That's self-love. That might not be as enjoyable, but sometimes it can be very rewarding. And if you get in the right headspace, it can actually be just as, if not more rewarding than just doing relaxing self-love. So, I want to say this every video because, I'm not, all the resources that I have, they may not be 100% correct. It might be 98% correct, right? But so let's make a practice of educating ourselves and fact-checking what you learn. I want to encourage you to do that, not just with me, but with anybody, whether it be a college professor or a pastor at a church or at a mosque, a teacher at a mosque, or, whoever, people on YouTube. It's good to just look into it yourself and double check and see if what you're learning is correct. That way, when you find out for sure, then you can live that part of your life out and become a better person. So I don't have an exit saying yet, like I have the intro. So I hope all that we talked about today brought you life. And I hope to see you next time.